Hey, what's up guys? Rob here, and I'm back with a brand new tag video. I thought I'd participate in Sean Erschen's 1980s slasher tag. Seemed like a lot of fun. I was not tagged for this. And I'm not going to tag anybody either at the end. I'm just going to leave it open. But I thought I'd give my 2 cents because I love slasher films. I love 80s horror films. And so, yeah, this seemed kind of cool. There's 10 questions. And a bonus question if you want to answer. You don't have to do it. Yeah. Let's get started with the 1980s slasher tag. Question number 1. Best gore effects in an 80s slasher. For me, that would have to be A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. And there's a specific scene that I'm talking about. The girl that turns into a fly. You know, she's working out. All of a sudden, like, her arms get crushed. They get, pulled back like this. Her elbows start to rip open and her arms go like this. And the legs start coming out. And oh my God. It's really awesome. Like, the effects are fantastic. They are fantastic. She starts to slowly turn into this fly, and then when she's in the box, Freddy has her like this and he crushes the box, and it's just it's crazy. Like, I love the effects for that. It's just fantastic. Even I watched that movie too when I was younger, and whenever that scene would come up, I'd always have to be like, oh my God, like it's crazy. But it's still one of the better effects ever used, like even in like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. A lot of people talk about that scene. So for me, that would be the scene from Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Dream Master. Number 2, favorite 80s slasher with a major star. Well, that would have to be Friday the 13th, 1980, with Kevin Bacon. Of course, Kevin Bacon, God, talk about a major star. He's got a ton of movies. Some of my favorite movies with him would be Stir of Echoes, A Few Good Men, Tremors. He was supposed to do that Tremors TV show, which got canceled. That really pissed me off. But Kevin Bacon, he's very successful. And, this movie pretty much foretold that, I guess. So, Friday the 13th, 1980 would be my answer there. Question number 3. Favorite weapon used by a killer in 80s slasher? Well, that's easy. The Freddy glove. The razor glove. When it comes to slashers, people typically use axes, knives, pitchforks, anything sharp, pretty much. I mean, in The Burning, Cropsey used the shears, which was unique. But the Freddy glove is just something that's never been done. I mean, a glove that has knives welded on as fingers. I mean, it's never been done like this. This is very, very unique as a weapon. So, I've always thought that. So, yeah, I'd have to say the Freddy glove is definitely my favorite there. Number 4. Favorite 80s slasher sequel? Well, Friday the 13th Part 3. This is the very first Friday the 13th movie I ever owned. It is the first Friday the 13th movie I ever watched, and it is my favorite Friday the 13th. This is the film where he first gets his mask. I love the characters in this, pretty much all of them. Shelley's my favorite. And overall, I just think this is a fantastic sequel. It is just fantastic. I love it. I know a lot of people will probably say, like, their favorite Friday the 13th is probably Part 4. I know a lot of people say Part 4, but And I love part 4, don't get me wrong. Tommy Jarvis is, you know, that's when he's first announced. But 3 is my favorite. Probably should put this down here, okay. Alright, so, number 5. Sleaziest 80s slasher. The Friday the 13th movies are pretty sleazy at times. But there's a specific movie that I thought the sleaze was just crazy. And it was Sleepaway Camp, the very first one. I mean, you got the cook who's trying to show Angela his, you know, his pee-pee. And, you know, you got the girls acting like sluts around, you know, the way they dress and flirt with the older men, and like, of course, the ending to this movie is sleazy enough when it shows the true identity of Angela. That's enough right there. That's enough to make you think, okay. When she's just standing there going, oh my God, look it. You got male parts. But anyway, I'd say it's pretty sleazy. So, I'd say Sleepaway Camp, definitely. And there's some sleazier ones out there, like Slumber Party Massacre. I think Sean Erschen said that one. Number 6, favorite death scene in an 80s slasher. Well, I can tell you that right now. Hands down. From A Nightmare on Elm Street 1, 1984, the Tina death scene. That scene will forever haunt me. Where she's in bed, and she's dreaming, and all of a sudden she gets dragged up the wall, and up the ceiling, and she gets slashed down. She gets slashed down her chest all the way to her stomach, and she's like, "Blah!" And she starts twirling around. There's blood going everywhere. Everywhere. The blood is on the ceiling, the walls, the bed. It's just covered in blood. And she's sitting there going, "Ah!" Like, that scene is so effective, and it is so cool the way they did it. I love it. I mean, there are a ton of great death scenes. I mean, the Friday the 13th, that's what that series is known for, is creating good death scenes. Even the Nightmare on Elm Street films, it's all about creativity. But I thought the Tina scene, just the creative way they killed her by dragging her up the wall, and that just blows my mind. So for me, it's the Tina scene, death scene from Nightmare on Elm Street. Number 7, favorite guilty pleasure in an 80s slasher. Well, I agree with Sean Erschen. Chopping Mall. With the robots and stuff. Yeah, this movie is definitely cheesy and a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I'm glad Vestron Video actually put this edition out, because I went I got this one at Best Buy. And I'm like, man, I haven't seen this movie in ages, man. So I picked mine up, but definitely Chopping Mall. That's definitely a guilty pleasure. And there's other ones out there, but that was a good answer from Sean. Number 8, favorite 80s slasher soundtrack. Well, again, I'll have to say this one again. A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, great soundtrack. I love the beginning song. You know, with the whole chalk. I think it's called Running from This Nightmare. I don't know who sings it. Then there's the Fat Boys who sing the song Freddy, with Robert Englund as Freddy singing along with them. And then there's Drama Rama who sings that song Anything. I'll give you anything, anything, anything. That's a great song. Buck Cherry actually remade that song, and it's not as good. But great soundtrack. And I know Sean mentioned that you could list instrumental, or you can do regular soundtrack with bands and actual music. Well, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, if you have not heard the soundtrack to this, you are missing out. It's some of the best music in a horror film, in my opinion. Nightmare on Elm Street 4 is, no one ever talks, I know the story doesn't connect after what happened with Nightmare on Elm Street 3. People kind of you know, I want to say shit on Nightmare on Elm Street 4, but they kind of put it down. I love Nightmare on Elm Street 4. I love it. The junkyard stuff, I love everything about it. Alright, number 9. Favorite holiday-themed slasher? Well, first thing that comes to mind is Silent Night, Deadly Night. Of course, I know a lot of people might say that. Holiday-themed, of course. Number 10, scariest 80s slasher. That was kind of hard because I tried to think back to when maybe I was younger and tried to think of something that I could relate to when watching the film. And the thing that came to mind for me is the very first Child's Play movie. And the reason why I thought it was kind of creepy and scary is because I owned a My Buddy. Now, those of you, you know, in the later 80s, you know, even early 90s, remember My Buddy. They were, it was basically a doll that kind of looked like Chucky in a way. It had the suspenders, the overalls, the shoes you could take off. It's got the hair, the freckles, even came with a hat and stuff like that. You basically take him anywhere. And I used to, like, you know, he was in my bed, he was riding in the car with me. I took him everywhere. Child's Play kind of creeped me out with that because not only did Andy have a good guy doll, which reminded me of My Buddy, but it was alive. The doll was alive, and it would just sit there. And, like, you'd look, and, like, he'd be gone. And then he'd be sitting over there. It's like, what? Did that doll just get up and what? That just creeped me out. The first Child's Play movie is very different from the other sequels because it kind of focused on being kind of scary with the stuff they would, you know, they wouldn't show the whole doll move, and they'd show, like, his feet and, like, this little thing running around. And Chucky doesn't even talk until, like, halfway through the film. He doesn't even say anything. So, for me, Child's Play, I would say, would be probably one of the scariest to me. Nightmare on Elm Street would be a close second. Nightmare on Elm Street, yeah. There's some freaky things about that movie, but for me, Child's Play. Alright, that's the 10, the 10 questions. Now, I'm going to do the bonus. And I was thinking about a movie that pitched an idea that I would actually run along with. Now, the bonus question is, or the bonus thing states, pitch an idea for an 80s slasher. So basically, come up with an idea that would be set in the 80s as a slasher film. For me, like I said, there's so many slasher weapons. Knives, axes, pitchforks, all that stuff. From the movie Home Alone, Buzz, you know, Kevin's brother, talks about that creepy story about his neighbor called, and he's part of the story called the South Bend Shovel Slayer, where he murders people with a snow shovel. And so I thought that was kind of a cool idea. If I were to make an 80s slasher, I would make the killer have a metal snow shovel. And that's how I would make him kill people. It would be around, of course, the holidays. It'd be kind of maybe a holiday-themed slasher. But he would be called the Snow Shovel Killer, or the South Bend Shovel Slayer. That'd be better, the South Bend Shovel Slayer. And he'd murder people with a snow shovel. It'd be something different. I don't ever recall a movie where somebody murders somebody with a snow shovel. I mean, maybe they have, I just haven't seen it, but that'd be kind of cool. I don't know, that would be my idea from Home Alone. It wouldn't be, it was Buzz's idea. I should give credit to Buzz from Home Alone. But that's a really cool thing, South Bend Shovel Slayer. That'd be kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, that's my bonus answer. So, really cool tag, Sean. I enjoyed doing this very much, and like I said, I'm not going to tag other people. I'm just going to leave this open if you guys want to do it. And like I said, I thought I'd give some answers because it just seemed like a fun thing to do and to participate in it. So yeah, I will post Sean Erschen's channel in the description, and on his channel, if you guys want to, you know, see the questions, he's got it in the description of his video. I'm going to link his channel. Go subscribe to him, and then I'm going to link the video, the original video that he created for the tag. In that video, in the description, is all the questions, all 10 questions plus the bonus. So if if you're going to write them down after, when I talk, you can do that, or you can go to his video and write them down. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I do feel like I'm going to be creating a tag here soon. I'm not really sure what theme it's going to be, but I'm definitely wanting to create one. Also, movie reviews coming up, and if you haven't seen my last video where I do this short film, short kind of like skit thing with Pennywise and me, definitely check that out to promote my next, of course, my next movie review, which I'm going to be doing, is Stephen King's It, so definitely check that video out. Yeah, so this is Rob signing off. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. How do I shut this off? I can't shut it off.